Hey,
Morning.
Hi,
morning.
afternoon.
Let me share. Here we go. Here we go. It's this one I'm talking about. That one. So it's two legs up, right? Because people can easily get onto primary.
Yeah.
So there is no secondary. This is just a leg two up. Leg two up, went up, reached the trap area, and rejected. That would have been my exit. I would have freaked out.
Mm.
So now it's doing a half moon, okay, which means we need to see, is it going to still hold the same line and then refresh sideways and continue? We don't want the sideways movement. We want to know that from here to here is one push. Give me a discount at least till here to this SNR.
Mm.
Like something more logical. It's too high in the sky. You know?
For a completely new refresh on the 240. Sorry,
240.
on
Yeah, because you got a half moon on the 60, which means you can't play the 60 anymore.
yeah.
60 is over. So whenever the half moon gets ready again on the 4 hour, and you're a 60-minute trader, you're like, come on, 4 hour, let me see those candles slow down, slow down, slow down, and it's getting ready. You have to go down to the 60 to get ready to trade it. Then you can trade the 60 for the next move, deep pullback, do that one also. Next move, next move. So that's your two legs of the 4 hour.
Mm.
Make sense? So then you can take all of that on the 60. You know it's on, so it's busy next 2 or 3 days for you, so you can take it. So
Like these two like here, right?
yeah, like that would be a pullback there. That's you traded that one on New Zealand yen, that style,
Mm.
right? Which is this. It's a move up, deeper pullback. Okay, look better on New Zealand yen. This one just looks like one leg and it ran away. But you had that trade there. You get to ride it up, and then if it deep pulls back again, you can ride that up too because you know there's a leg two pending for 4 hours. So as
Mm.
a 60-minute trader, you get multiple trades in if you let the 4 hour start to turn. Now, if you're up here, I was just talking before all of you guys came, I was talking to Rowan. If you're up in this area doing the 60, you can still do it, but you need to know that the 4 hour is not brand new anymore up in that area. It's old. It started here. So if the 4 hour is not brand new, then you need to be on your toes to say, all right, any signs of struggle, I'm out. You know, because that's what happened exactly on USD yen yesterday, right? The one we were discussing. Here's the clues that give it away that your trade is going to be in trouble. So in the 4 hour, where's the freshest part the cells began? Where's the fresh part? Okay, up there, right? So he's been going down for some time. The first push down comes in, second push down comes in. Their move is pretty much already getting tired, right? Now look at this. For the second and third move that it starts to come down, if I take it like this, is that really a lower low? That's really hard to say. Like, what is he trying to do? Is he doing it or not? That's why this 60-minute right here, where we see a two-legged pullback right there on the 60, is dangerous because of the way it looks on the 4 hour. It's not fresh, it's old, and he's not even making strong lower lows that we can say, I don't care. Let's just keep going with it. He has momentum. Let's keep going with him. It's okay. He's slowing down. There's a lot of buying pressure stepping in. Look at that big green candles, big green candles. So that's when we say, okay, even though it is a design that we trade, this one we will not touch because it will probably take our money instead of give us money. Okay,
Yeah.
so the trade went in our favor for this direction for the first leg as primary. Then it jumped up. as a V reversal, no stop out yet, and it comes down a little bit, and then it dies. So it's a break-even trade because a V reversal is not going to come back to here, right?
No.
So when these candles come in with tails on the bottom, like, I guess that's it. That's all I can make. So break even, maybe 1 pip profit, 2 pips profit. It's okay. Or even a small loss because of spread. But that's okay. If you didn't catch all this, it's okay. So the more you do it and the more you say, that was a half moon and you were involved in it, the better you'll get at detecting this and saying, I have a feeling it's a half moon type of trade. I don't want to do it. Or I do all the half moon trades, but I know to trade smaller. Yeah.
Can we, if we have time, can we maybe look at Euro Aussie?
Euro Aussie? Let's do it.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I read it correctly.
Yeah, talk me through this one. I'll get rid of all this. There's no needed anymore. Okay, yeah, walk me through.
Just as you said, it's like the flow began around this area over here as the 60 failed. We going into 4-hour territory.
Yeah.
So we get like these moves down and it makes a lower low within the 3 legs. So
yeah, but wait, let me go to the 4 hours. Let's get it done right. Because we don't want to guess that this is the full. We know it's a 4 hours, but we don't want to guess it started here. What if it started here? So let's understand that. Let's go to the 4 hours, look at that really well and be like, okay, when it came up in 2 legs as a pullback, did people get in here?
Yeah, that's something I need to work on because I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think people got in there because it went down so fast.
Okay, so then the movement that you can get in is only on the secondary. Because he went up, he rejected, then he slowed down, then a doji. I personally can get onto those. I like those. I can get onto this. But the reason why I cannot get onto these is because if I enter here, my stop's got to be there. That will freak me out. That's too far away from the corner.
Okay.
Right? So that's where it becomes dangerous. So now I'm left at the mercy of, I need to do my secondary, but the secondary better be so good that I can put my stop above the secondary and not above the primary, because that will be really bad. It'll get even worse. Okay, so far so good. Now, if the move began here for the first leg, did we make a lower low?
No.
No, but we know we need to hold on for 2 legs. He goes and he attempts the second leg. Did he make a lower low?
Yeah, around that time, yes. But if when the green candle comes up, it's a little bit so like
good.
Not sure.
Good. So I want you to always look at this as, imagine if this was some kind of a consolidation that you broke out of. How's your break?
Small.
If this is strong, by all means, just keep playing with him because his momentum is healthy. But if you think like this, like that's leg 1, that's the size of leg 2, then that, and then now we're here. You see how it's really struggling to go?
Mm-hmm.
We are at the 60 right now that we see this pullback. It looks dangerous, doesn't it? Now, if we just look at it from the 4 hours picture.
Mm-hmm.
That's why even as a 60 trader, the best position for us to be in is closer to the 4 hour start. The further the 4 hour gets away, yeah, the 60 will still give us setups. We just need to know for sure that, are you okay with doing that? Does it look healthy? Does it look good? If yes, do it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So if something looks good on a 60, just put a circle there, go up to your 4 hours, just calmly look at it and be like, how do I feel if I was still a 60-minute trader, 4-hour trader who got in here? Would I still be holding on or would I be looking to cash out?
Yeah, we also see some climax volume over here, some high volume.
Yeah.
So it's
So,
a
but
little
that,
bit
yeah, we don't know if that's climax volume or seller's volume in here, but it's the highest volume since this downtrend. So it feels climactic, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So who knows if this becomes like this and then that, like the USD yen style. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense? So
Yeah.
that's why I use the word, oh, you're doing the, it looks like a continuation trade. It's because it's not fresh. It's
Okay.
a 60-minute trying to do the next push down after a refresh, but they will all look like a refresh towards the end because they do deep pullbacks because they're exhausted, right?
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
when you look at it on the 4 hours, you're like, oh, it's a continuation. It's not. So that's how you wrap your head around things like, okay, I understand the frame I'm in.
No, makes sense. Yeah. So just double check on the 4 hours before you take, or if you see a setup on the 60.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just check with your big boy if he's still interested to support you. Right? Fair enough, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually think I like Aussie Swiss franc a little bit better for a buy because it made more of a new high.
Okay. So let's take a look at this. So
Yeah, it's
walk me.
going way faster.
Sorry.
It's going up nicely right
Yeah.
here.
So where's the last refresh on the 4 hours?
4 hours, it's there. Where's the 4 hour? Wait, here. Over here.
Okay. So did people get in there?
No, people got in here.
Okay. And that too is questionable. Like, I hope they got on. It's not low enough, right? But okay, maybe they got on there. So let's assume they got on here because they did correlation and they figured it out. So how many legs up? That's one, no higher high. Two, they made it. There's another pullback, that's three. Okay, so now we're saying it's refreshing now. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, on the 1 hour.
On the 1 hour, but also the 4 hours, right? We can see it's refreshing. So if you see it on the 1 hour as this is the refresh that's coming in and you're trying to buy that, you're buying a continuation to do a leg 5 or 4.
Yeah.
But if you feel the 4 hours finally doing a refresh, then you have to say it started here, like we discussed, ended here. Do you want to do a 10% pullback?
No.
So you need the price to come at least here, right? To make it worthwhile. Because then you can, on the 60, play the game of I can add, I can scale in, I can do, you have little flexibility to move. You won't be tight and like, oh, I didn't exit at the top. You don't want to be stuck in that feeling.
Okay. So this is actually a 4 hour trade.
Yeah, it's a 4 hour continuation. Doesn't look so great. See that? It's a two-legged pullback. Hasn't even damaged the structure whatsoever. The buyer's territory is still alive. So it's like, if it goes up like 4, I don't know. All right. What else do we have?
That were the only two pairs the rest is like counter trend. It's like a lot of counter trend trades.
Yeah. So again, see, yesterday got busy again, but day before yesterday was dead, right? After we had the nice moves on Monday. So it'll do that sometimes. It'll get exhausted and then we're like, I can't touch it. It's too high now. It's high in the sky. Even though some of them will work, it's just you need to be strict and like, I can try it if I want to. I might get a half moon. There's a high chance of a half moon. Like Aussie USD, that's a half moon, right? Aussie Swiss, like you were saying that it looks like a 4 hour refresh or a 60-minute. It's here. Here's the refresh. It failed. Sorry, refresh is a circle. It failed. because everyone got in on the bottom. It came very hot, slowed down, smaller candle, green candle. Yeah, Ollie got in as well. He took it last night. 2 legs up, game over. No higher high. And that's when it goes to the right a little bit. It's proven that's the higher, lower high or half moon. Yeah, that means it's a pullback mode on the 4 hour. It doesn't mean we can sell it. It just means we can't buy it right now because left to right is clearly this. We want to stay respecting that. Now, every now and then, a counter trend would look sexy. The reason why, you see how it says half moon here on the 60, and we're like, oh, it needs to pull back. But sometimes the pullback is like this, and then it just goes. So we're expecting a nice low price here, and that never happens. The time when it does happen is when you have your 4 hour is also overextended, or your daily is also overextended. Then you get a move like this. And then you're like, whoa, what just happened? Then you know this phase and that phase and that phase and that phase.
Mm-hmm.
Then you continue to do the sells until you know the daily is getting ready to buy it again. But until then, you were in this whole process. But counter trends can only happen here. You must let the first dive come in without you. Don't front run it. Let the dive come in. Okay, that's how you make safe money, safe and easy money. If you make a loss on that, it's like, okay, your entry has some issues or stop loss and this and that, but your read should never be wrong, like literally never. And the way to do that is let the first piece go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we have this, but when the MA is still going up.
Yeah. So when this thing crashes down, this area, you know it's crashed down on a higher time frame because of all of that. You can do one of two things. You can look at this as a two-legged refresh, buy it, but if that buy starts to fail up in that area, knowing how it crashed down like a V reversal, you can also sell it. And say the daily would need another whole set to come down. That means at least 2 more legs down on the 4 hours. And as a 60 trader, you're like,
Isn't that like dollar yen right now?
dollar yen? Yeah, dollar yen has a deeper pullback, right? So let's take a look at that. So
On the flip side.
yeah, let's start with how we normally would look at it. Where a 60-minute trader would look at it coming in, saying, what can I do today? We see this, right? Refresh. But it looks like a continuation because we talked about this. Like that looks like one leg down. Doesn't look like we're breaking any structure. So refresh, no performance, half moon. Okay, half moon starts to take off. So that way from this moment onwards, it's not belonging to this time frame. Okay, we'll go up to the 4 hours. If you look at it from the 4 hours perspective, it's whatever our last refresh was, seems to have started from here. It's come down, come down, come down. And then now this whole movement has a 50% retracement in 2 legs, which means prepare for selling. Now, if even the 4 hour is exhausted and you can feel this is going to be a half moon even for the 4 hours, because of the speed this thing went up really, really fast, you know that it's going to come in for a daily pullback to sell again later. When this sell tries, which is going to go sideways and poke down the way we like it, right? Because a V reversal sideways movement, give me a poke down. That's going to be a 4-hour seller's exit. But for us, that can be like, we're going to counter trend and front run it with the basis of, I know what's happening, and take that prolonged buy at least until here. But if we get a smoother run, we can get it up to there. And that's the big payouts. Counter trend, but it requires 3 or 4 more layers of information. If you have correlation also to back you up, then it's like, do it. You have to do it. It's good money. But that's why I said we'll do all these counter trend stuff later, because now you understand there's more time frames involved, and there is a bigger picture that needs to stay on the top of your mind and saying, okay, here we go. But never assume that because my 60 failed, I should do the buy. Don't do that. Because many times it'll just go up this much and continue down. It'll do that.
So the buys here are not safe also.
Not really. You can do this one if you want. That would be more of like a, I don't know if you can see it on the 60, it might be a 15 trade if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, can do it. Done. Here's a problem. You know why I don't condone doing this one? Because the 60 had a half moon, which means whose trade is it now?
240.
240. 240, we would say bring me a price until halfway. If this is the start of the move, bottom of the move.
Yeah.
He's halfway now. In one leg, he's rejected. What if I end up buying the sideways movement that might probe up? Do I really want to be in that?
To go down, right?
To go down, yeah. So I don't want to buy that. Luckily, this thing went up. But what if it went sideways? Because of a reversal. It would be horrible. It's a horrible position to be in. We'll just get stuck in a range. And then we're like, okay, I'm not in a loss, but I don't know what this is. And then it goes up and then it runs away. Okay, maybe it doesn't even go up. Maybe it just drops below and tests on the underside and goes below. Make sense?
Okay.
So this, I know what you're saying here is, what can we buy the leg 2 at least? You only do that if you know the daily is going to do that. So when this thing does it till here as a 4 hours, and you know the daily is pulling back after the 4 hours doing this, yeah, that one, you can do it as a 60, and you can even get away here or here or here, wherever. You can choose to get away at any spot, and it will still be good money. But that's counter trend. The way to quickly exit stuff, which that means you're in a counter trend mentality. You don't want to get in the habit of that. Otherwise, every trade you take is going to be enter, exit, enter, exit. You don't want to get into that habit of, there's a squirrel around the corner freaking you out.
Yeah.
So you want to get in and be like, and now we make money. You get in and now we make money. Like, you want to be in that state. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do a quick rundown really quick. We'll just open up our 60s. Okay, we'll look at the whole image from top to bottom, yeah? So here we go. Aussie CAD, what can you tell me?
Half moon.
Half moon here, but it looks like it's only one leg down.
Yeah.
What if this is the second leg down? So there's a confusion here. Did Ollie trade one leg down? Because correlation is telling you that was probably one leg. Let's investigate this further. Because if that's the case, our trade's coming up now as a second leg down. So let's investigate further. Aussie Swiss.
No, this is definitely a half moon.
Was this the buy? Or is this the buy?
First.
The last refresh was here. See, it doesn't make sense that it would be there, right? Plus the time of day doesn't make any sense. So there's that weird feeling element to it, right? Okay, let's give it a benefit of the doubt. Let's check more Aussie. We have so many Aussies. Let's just check more. Is that the buy?
Mm,
Looks like one leg down again, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. It's too premature. Let's take a look at Aussie USD. Aussie USD is a confusing one because he did pull back deep and he does have that look of, I got two legs down, baby. But it's the only one that has that conditioning to it. But could his half moon have come because of the being unaware of the rest of the Aussie group? They're all saying, I only have one leg down, buddy. Are you sure this is a refresh? It's just a deep pullback. You made money, but you'll make more money again because it's not ready yet. Let's take it further. Euro Aussie, flip side. Was that the pullback? And is this the half moon? Doesn't look like it. Looks one leg pullback, right?
Yeah.
Still looks dangerous.
It's a lot like dollar yen yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at pound Aussie now. So here we are. Is that the two-legged pullback? I think it's this area, right? Yeah, it's this area where he was looking at it. So this one looks like a two-legged pullback, right? Sorry, I'm drawing it all in the wrong places. And then this half moon here with the horrible two legs down. Okay, so this one agrees with the Aussie dollar. Okay, and what do we have for Aussie left? Aussie New Zealand. Okay, I'll pull that out. Why not? Yeah, not looking at this one. It's like, okay, so it brings us down to, are you sure that was one leg down? Two legs down? If not, we're probably dealing with the second leg down now, which is still within the 50 percentile range. Here's the last circle. This is the highest point, 50% down to that area into the MAs. Second leg comes down choppier. So there's a slowdown to it. Okay. So if we read it as volume now, let's take it even further. Because then we might have one trade here that might become a half moon. That's besides the case, but we might have a legit pullback. So if we look at it from the beginning, the big pullback was here, right? Goes up, 60-minute, goes up, 60-minute, goes up, 60-minute. So is this a new trade because we broke the highs? Perhaps. Because it's brand new then. If he breaks the highs, that means it resolved, it won. Whoever did that big pullback, that big boy. So let's do it with the volume now. Let's take a look at it.
This has to be looked at on the 240, no?
Why? Where is the half moon?
If this was the primary push here,
Where's
no
my
one
two legs down?
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
That's what we're asking about all the Aussies. Do we
Yeah.
have two legs down? Aussie USD and pound Aussie are the only one that have two legs in them. The rest are saying it was only one leg. So it makes sense why it didn't perform, because this would be a 15-minute pullback. That's a 15-minute pullback that failed.
Yeah, 15-minute half moon.
15-minute half moon, which means we come up one time frame. This is now 60 minutes. It's their game now. Do they want to take it? Yeah, seems like a good spot, right? And let me put in the volume. Let's measure that. Yeah, look at that. There's a high volume spike right there. Right? And then the biggest one is down here. Should we wait till here? No, we don't.
No.
So work with this. It's a good spot, 50% retracement. Fair enough. If this is the range, the breakout of the range was quite healthy. Not expecting it to come back that low anyways into the range. So we're okay. So now let's deal with it candle by candle without going down to the 15 and getting like really antsy. We're on the second leg down, right? If that was one, it's like doing it again. We need it in this area. So first bar comes down full red. Do we buy it?
Mhm.
Next bar reacts green and ends up right up here. Okay. Buy it.
No, not yet.
Next bar. So now we know the speed slowed down. Do you see what I just drew?
Yeah.
Sharp reversal. Next candle, a doji. A doji on a lower time frame means 4 candles sideways. After a V reversal, a sideways movement. Oh, never heard of that before. Right? And then got a push down coming in right now.
Spike down.
First
So-
10 minutes.
52 minutes till candle close, but this is the part where we can then investigate and say, okay, now he has earned me to go down to the 15 to investigate further. I don't go earlier. I go now that he's proven to me this is the area. If I know this is the area, then I need to prepare. Okay, so his candles have told me that this is the area. So now we go to the 15 and see what is the power of this thing. If we can get a slowdown, where's my drawing? If we can get a slowdown, even if it probes it, we would love to get that, get a buy off of there. Stops would be below here, which is also the primary anyways. Perfect. And we know we're also in a ranging structure. We know we're also probably overextended. So a 9,900 target is not a bad thing. Not to mention going weak dollar and CAD today because of what's happening in the US is not a bad thing. It might get us a decent move in there.
And that area is also aligning with the big MA.
Sorry?
It's also aligned with that MA.
Correct. Correct. The more it slows down on this test, the closer the MAs will get because it'll catch up. Okay.
So this
right
is a primary on a 60 then, right? This is the primary on the 60,
on the 60,
correct? Like,
it's primary because it's 2 legs down.
Yeah.
It's the first trade. But will there be a secondary?
well, no, because, well, that's one question I was going to ask actually. How is there a hack to know if it's left too quick where that you wouldn't get a second? You know what I mean? Like how?
It's like this. You see 2 legs down here?
Yeah.
This one, we will say, okay, I need a secondary because that primary ran away. I cannot grab it. It's too fast. So
But if you see any sort of doji or any sort of like any sort of those little slowdown and a doji on that time frame, then you can more often than not assume that most people caught it then at that point, like
Correct.
generally speaking. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, that's when it becomes justifiable saying, okay, this is suitable for the first bounce. Yeah. And it's not necessarily a lower high, so we're okay. So now, is Aussie CAD better? Is Aussie Swiss better?
They both have the same, or not really same design, but the area where it pull back to is significantly different. One is like 20%, one's 50%. So in that case, we stick to the deeper pullback one, right? Because of the location.
Look at this one, Aussie Swiss. It's close to the super high volume area. It's
So
a
it's
leg
red.
4 buy. Okay, 1 leg up, 2 leg up. If I draw the big circles, right? This is a horrible one to draw, but it looks like a refresh. So it's a leg 4. So it's almost in our mind. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be probably a half moon. If not, yeah, thank you. You know, but so here we have, there's a high volume area right here somewhere. We don't want to buy that because that's 1 leg down. But when it comes on as leg 2, all right, I'll draw the volume again so you guys can see it. So you guys know what we're dealing with. There we go. Yeah. So this area, we're like, okay, maybe I can prepare that. Now here's the thing. Ah, come on. All right, there we go. Here's the thing. At that time of the day, it's early morning hours. It's too fast. That's fine. Green candle slows it down. Red candle slows it down, buying pressure with the tail. Doji slows it down. Okay, it can be bought now, but the time of day doesn't look so fresh. It waits until it gets closer to Frankfurt, and he does this. Bloop, bloop. This can be caught down here because what it's doing right now, it's testing that probe on the bottom. Okay, so if we go deeper into it, as we wake up into the morning, it's doing all of this squeeze. The squeeze pops out, red bar, green bar, slows it down, green bar, run away. All right, let me see how you come back down to it. It's already a leg 2. It's already at a high volume spot. This looks better. Does that look good as well? Someone's here.
Yeah.
Market open hours are also good. We're at London right now. It's a good spot. It's a good spot. So what I'm going to do on this one, I'm going to get in on some size. Okay. How much size should I put in? If my regular trading is going to be 2% or 3%, how much should I put on this?
1%.
1%. So I'm going to go ahead and take this trade. How's the volume look on the last candle on the 15 minutes?
Yeah, it's really good, especially if you go down in time frame and see if it's buyer pressure.
Yeah, look where the thing came.
Yeah, trap.
There you go. So now this trap makes sense in the story. Now this volume doesn't mean, oh, it's a red color, that means it's a seller volume. You know what that volume means in the story. Make sense? So everything is subjective around the story. Technical analysis only fits the story. It cannot be read alone.
Another trade that I picked that's good. Yay.
Right? Yeah. So on its own, Aussie Swiss, it was looking scary, right? But after doing correlation, it's like we might get away with it because all the pullbacks were not really real.
Okay.
Okay, so 1%. What's the stops on this?
And below the probe, basically.
Here. Okay, so 12 pips more or less. Aussie Swiss. The current price of USD Swiss is 0.8808. Okay, 1.468 million. Aussie Swiss. Okay. So I'm in this trade. Now, what does this trade belong to? Who does this trade belong to?
60.
60. Okay. So since Rowan called out this trade this morning, we'll let him post it up on Basecamp as Aussie Swiss 60, Aussie Swiss 60 primary buy.
Do you have to give him commission as well?
Yeah. So Rowan, did you hear it? You'll have to post this on Basecamp because it was your selection.
Okay.
Okay, so just post it in Basecamp as Aussie Swiss 60 primary buy.
Cool.
Okay, now if we take it back to 60, let's try to understand. Are we in a primary or are we in a leg 2? Maybe it's not going to be a leg 2 because this red bar might disappear before the candle closes. It might turn into green. So something we need to watch. 39. $50.7 price.
It's a primary, right?
Sorry, it's a primary. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Aussie Swiss franc 60 primary.
Buy.
Buy. Yeah.
Yeah. The last word would be a buy. Okay. Trade's profitable.
I put up the post.
Okay.
So on Aussie USD, when Ollie took it, we were wondering if it's one leg or two leg, right? Then we checked all the other pairs and it seems like it's only one leg.
Yeah.
We came to that conclusion, right?
Correct. Due to correlation, we're like, I think it's just a singular like pullback. But there's also
the same. Because Aussie USD was the same around here. It also has this, it also had this, and then this.
Correct. And we know for a fact that if the last circle is supposed to be here, you really think a big boy is going to buy a 10-15% pullback? But
yeah,
in his case, in Aussie USD, that was a 50% pullback. So it's like, I can see why that was attractive. And that one did look like two legs down. So that on its own is a trade for sure. It's just, if you catch up on the correlation, you'll be like, I made money on the buy, but the buy is not started yet. I can still make more money, which means let it pull back again. I'm all over it, but maybe on a different or better pair. Do you guys remember yesterday when we talked about leader laggard?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
look at this design, how it looks on Aussie dollar.
Ranging.
Pulled back, take off, higher high, higher low sequence kicked in. Right? Let's go into Aussie Swiss. Pulled back, no higher high, higher low sequence kicked in yet. We just are starting a higher low now. So there is a possibility that we can use that as reference point of, all right, I think we might be able to get away with it. If this candle ends up closing red, then there is a high chance we're on leg 2. I wouldn't go and say, no, I need a leg 2. Like, don't do that because of where it all began. Don't push the luck like that when you're overextended. You can do that in these early stages and saying, no, we'll be fine. I think we might even get leg 4 or 5 out of this. And you'll be probably right.
So you're saying if this current candle doesn't close well, it could be leg 2, and then this is the leg 1?
Correct, yeah. Because it did react from these areas, right? Initially. Yeah. So yeah. This is like a V reversal, sideways, poke down for the test. Mm-hmm. So this should have been the entry. If that's the entry, then this is leg 2. You see what I mean? So how we've entered is, okay, I'm in, stop loss there, let's see. So it's like a flip way of seeing it as a secondary opinion of what's the other outlook. See it on the 15. Although that looks less likely, because for that to be a leg 2, this needs to go up 3 legs, come down multi-legs on the 15. This is 1 leg up and then some down. That's why I'm like, I don't know. This could be a 1 still. We'll see. We have 30 minutes till candle closes on the 60. A bunch of time. Says Frank again. Me no scale here. Me no scale here. Me go to jail. For leaving money on the table. That is actually illegal. It's a waste of brain. But yeah. So I want you, I know I teach meditation and all this stuff as well, but I want you guys to actually build fire, not in losing trades when you're actually wrong. I want you to build fire in yourself and be upset with yourself when you know you have to do something, but you didn't do it well. Like, be a perfectionist. Be like, I knew that was going to happen. Why didn't I do it well? And go hard on yourself a little bit. Not too much that you hurt yourself psychologically, but enough to get you that fire going internally, saying, I got to fix this, you know? So just, it's good. It's healthy to have all emotions running. Balances you out. Okay, trade's looking better. All right, so questions, any questions? So that's the Aussie group we saw. Let's take a quick scan of the New Zealand group on the 60, because we know the New Zealand's are hot too. All right. Let's do 60 and yeah. Okay, what do we got here on 60? Same thing?
Yeah.
Looks like
he pulled back from the higher time frame, whatever this is, performs, gets out of there. Upper side test of it now. So we can check the volume just to see, could it leave from here where it's at now? Okay, this thing doesn't show, but we have this data and this data, so let's include that to see in case. Okay, there is a small cluster here and then a cluster, bottom cluster there. So I guess we're dealing with this one down here. So this one is a little bit more tricky to say this area is good. It might come down more. So I don't know, but he's definitely slowed down this guy. Okay, well, let's look at the correlation. We'll get a better idea. So New Zealand CAD, New Zealand Swiss real quick. Okay, New Zealand Swiss looks like he perhaps did a refresh there, or did the candle just happen to turn green in between? If not, it's like our Aussie Swiss. It's on its way now. Right?
Yeah.
It looks almost identical to our Aussie Swiss. It's like it's good to go. Okay, let's take a look at our New Zealand yen. Can't even pull back. Buying pressure still too hot. But I don't like to trade these. I get very, very scared because I don't know if resistance will push back. Okay. New Zealand USD, same thing. Is this 2 legs down since, oh, I would even say this is a refresh maybe. If this is the last refresh, then this is a 30% pullback. Okay. If this is the last refresh, then 60% refresh, which is not bad. Okay. In case this is leg 1 and this is our leg 2 coming in, strong, slow down. Here we go. So also looking good. So it looks like the Aussies and New Zealand's are preparing for the next push. And we're buying with our fellow buyers. Okay. Euro New Zealand is the next one. Okay. He's done its second leg now. First leg was here, and we said we don't know. That's definitely not 2 legs in the other pairs. Here, it could be the second leg. So it went up as the first leg. First leg slammed down as a reversal. Sideways, pop. Could be on its way too. Volume is stacking up in our favor. Okay. Only thing that I personally don't like is move started up here. We're just trying to continue it. Can work, otherwise we get a half moon out of it. It's okay. Yeah, I think we went through all the pairs now. Oh, maybe pound New Zealand, sorry. Let's take a look at that real quick. This one's doing its own thing.
New Zealand yen.
Probably did its own thing here. Half moon, and then now I don't know what it's doing after that. So this one had multiple legs down. New Zealand yen was the other one. Did I not do New Zealand yen?
I'm saying pound New Zealand is like New Zealand yen.
Yeah, but pound New Zealand looks like something went wrong in that one. Like it's not following it, it's reversing. While all the other New Zealands are trying to continue, this one looks like it's reversing.
Yeah, because it has the half moon already, right? And on the 60.
Yeah. Yeah. It's supposed to be New Zealand's strength, right? It's supposed to be going this way. This one is strongly going the other way. It could be a pound thing right now. Maybe the pounds are getting aggressive. Let me just quickly check. Yeah, you see? Pound yen, pound Swiss, pound CAD, pound Aussie. It's pounds that are moving. That's the cause of issue. So any questions? I gotta make sure I gotta get this recording up. Henning will kill me otherwise. I keep forgetting every day.
Yeah, could you please explain the slowdown and then when to enter again, so I have that clearly in my mind?
Yeah, so let me see if I can find a pair where we can discuss a pullback that slows down. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Okay. Here. So we're waiting for a refresh to come in from whatever this move was. Give me a deeper pullback and we'll see. Okay, I think the last refresh might have been there. And now it's like, no, maybe that's a 50%, should be good, right? So if we're seeing this move come up, okay, in this whole process, this is the middle of the end of the year opens, so we don't want to do this sell. So we get a leg 3 out of it. Normally we get 2 legs, we're ready, but leg 3 out of it, end of the year. Okay, it's going up. You have a possible area that you like, maybe. Okay, now you want to look at the candles approaching that. Sometimes you'll get a full green candle coming to it. You have to stand by. So how does this pressure feel to you, this green one?
There's nothing.
Okay, it's nothing, but what about the tail? Which way?
No, it's more buy pressure than sell pressure.
Good. Next candle.
It's a little bit equal, I would say.
But what color is the candle?
More buy pressure.
Yeah, and the body is more than the tails. That's telling you the buyers held and resolved better, right? Next candle.
Parabolic, high buy, or a strong buy.
Where's the tail?
The bottom.
The bottom means buying pressure. Can't touch it. Next candle.
It's strong seller.
So now, what do you know? Can you catch that?
No,
you're not supposed to catch it. You're not supposed to go to a lower time frame or anything. You're not supposed to catch that. It just goes away and you're like, I guess this is the level. Check. Now that it's the level, you need to start thinking, I had a parabolic up move that had a parabolic down move. What are we dealing with?
A reversal.
A reversal, you now know how to deal with it with the ideas of, all right, I need to get a price up in these areas as much as I can. If it comes immediately, that's fine. If it goes sideways and then comes up, that's fine. If it goes sideways, goes down, and then comes up and then goes down, that's also fine. Because I got to put my stops above here, so I can only accept these prices. I don't want to get in lower.
So do you consider that then a primary then? That initial reaction, is that a primary to you then? And then we're going to trade the secondary? Is that how you
Correct.
View that then?
Yeah,
okay.
We have to trade the secondary. And when we label the word secondary amongst us, so we know, the approach was too strong, no one can get in. So we should not count this as that's leg 1, that's leg 2. Don't do that. If this is the secondary, start there. That is the leg 1 down.
It's leg 1,
yeah. Yeah, because that's where it begins now, and people are going to see, let me see how my performance of my sell is so I can judge it accordingly.
But if that would have just had a couple small candles, just showing that the slowdown was there, and then a doji, just it showed that, then you try and trade that as a primary, and then that would be the first leg. Then once that took off, then.
Yeah.
Can we actually see the primary as trading or like the trap, the first initial trap, and the secondary is the retest of the trap it made on the primary?
It can be. Once you get a reaction from this area and you know it's going to go sideways and you're expecting a price higher, you're now free to go down a time frame to be like, I need to investigate where exactly do I want my price. but know you're trading this time frame. So you don't want like tails coming up and that's it. You want to see a nice candle coming up there, getting to your area, going down, or it tries to get up there. Maybe he comes only till here and then he goes down. You're like, okay, I'll just get in here. I'll just chase it here. I'll put my stop above my primary. Okay. I waited for the best price. I couldn't grab it absolutely best. I got it here somewhere. That's okay. That's okay. That just means you're at least trading on this side, on the right side of the line, not on the left side. Left side is too early. Right side means, and now go. Like, that's it. What else is there left to do? Just go.
Okay.
And if it doesn't go, that's when you freak out. And that's when you have to close or something. But you should be concerned if it doesn't go, because it doesn't make any sense. Something is missing. So let's take a look at this. Leg one down. What happens to leg one down?
And so yeah, it gets a V reversal.
Gets a V reversal. So you're not stopped out yet, right? What happens in a V reversal?
Consolidation and a
test. Same thing. So you know in your mind, if this V reversal is real, I might have to get out here.
Okay.
And that's how you get a scratch out of it. Because then later you can say, well, of course, because I don't know what I'm trading, leg 5. But you have to do it, because what about leg 4? You wouldn't have made that money. What about this? You wouldn't have made that money. You know what I mean? You just do it until you end up at a half moon. You're like, well, I did whatever I could. 2%, 3% trades, 1% trades. That's okay. You get an eclipse, 5-6%. No one is allowed 5-6% as of right now until I know you can do it. But you want to stick between 1% and 2% as you get started. So.
And eclipse trade you refer to?
It's like the daily is setting up to get ready to go, to be on. The 4 hour has pulled back to do a leg 2 on. And you're trading it from the 60. That is an eclipse, which means all the moons have aligned for you and they're saying, do it, buddy.
Do it.
You have Dwayne Johnson pushing you from the back. It's like, we're going to do this.
So it's like the trades that happened on Monday on the Aussies and then New Zealand. Okay.
Correct. But I'll explain to you those Aussies and New Zealands, and you'll be surprised to see something. Let's take a look at this. See?
If you go back, just one small question.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
So we say a pullback, we only want to trade pullback after 2 or maximum 3 legs, like this here, right?
Yeah.
And then once it fails, then it's a half moon, then it's a higher time frame kind of thing. What if it just keeps pushing down and then keeps going? And when do we say, okay, it's for a higher time frame for sure? Because only here we say it's for a higher time frame.
You're saying this second leg doesn't happen, he just goes higher?
Yeah.
Oh, then there's something wrong with your level. You haven't picked a good level. You have to pick a level that makes logical sense of it's deep enough that a larger player would want it. Plus there's some volume indications in that area that would make a larger player want it again, because it did it in the past. Then you can say, okay, I can work with that level. If he gets up there at 2 legs is when I start getting preparing. I don't expect 3 legs, because what if I start preparing on 2 legs and it doesn't work and then it goes up for a 3rd leg? I will have a half moon before 3rd leg comes up. Yeah. If that happens, that means either it's a half moon, it's a higher time frame, or my level I had just doesn't make any sense. It's just a random line I drew. It can't be random. You gotta pick a line thereabouts that needs to make sense in terms of volume, in terms of how deep is that pullback? Is it deep enough for people to get interested? The larger players again. Is it good enough discount? Like that. Okay. The only reason why normally everything that we've done so far has always been 2 legs.
Yeah.
Why does this one have 3 legs? End of the year. People are just not hitting it right there as December 31st is closing. It's like, a year's closing. So unfortunately, you wake up on January 2nd and price is all the way up there. Okay, like 3. Fair enough.
So let's say if this was a good level, let's just say it's a good level,
Yeah.
and then it does the 4th leg. What is that?
It's not
Me-
supposed to do a 4th leg. Then it's a stop loss. But
Okay.
it's not supposed to do it. You see what I mean? If this is a good level and it responds, it shouldn't go up.
Yeah.
If it goes up, then it's like I got stopped out, but he didn't even put in a lower high before going up. That doesn't make any sense. You know how a higher time frame needs to pull back, right? Let's say higher time frame is here, and we're trading this part. The higher time frame needs to at least give me a back door, a higher low. But if he just makes a 4th leg and goes up like that, it's like, what the hell? That doesn't make any sense. He's done a V reversal. He doesn't even give me a little ledge before going up.
So the
That's-
entire thing
that's-
is void.
Yeah, that's rare. And if that happens, it's like, okay, there is some crazy news event out there like war or virus or something that's not economical and it's not flowing with the market structure. Because this type of market structure, by doing it like that, allows more people to get stopped out, more people to get in, allows more transactions to happen. Broker makes more money, big boys make more money. Smaller players, they feel like I can do something to make some money. But if it always runs away, nobody makes money. It's like a primary that ran away and no one got on. Except the retail trader, they just chase it, but brokers don't get a chance to make money. So it's not good business when that happens. So it's not a common thing that happens because of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Aussie Swiss looking good from what I see on the prices. New Zealand Swiss, I'm guessing that's still better. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to show you guys, New Zealand Swiss looks good. And our Aussie Swiss, how's it looking? Okay, I'm just inching up there. This guy's making Thor's hammer right now. So, all right, let's take a look at it. All right, New Zealand CAD, I want to show you something here on weekly. You see this on weekly? In end October, early November, that refresh. This is the best thing you can do for yourself is if you get an eclipse in here somewhere on the 60. Right now, everything that we're doing is just like, in their eyes, we're little bastard cheese traders that are just taking from their wallets. And they're like, screw you, man. Here, take $10,000. Get out of my face. It's like, that's basically what they're looking at us as. But for them, this is that big cash. When you see stuff like this, you know the trade is on. That's where the serious money comes in. This is what we live for the entire year. And we're like, we got to get one of those. Once we get one of those, then we have to do everything we can, handcuff ourselves to the wall and be like, I'm not touching it until this thing gives me 2 legs on the weekly.
So it's now on its second leg, right?
Yeah, but add. Or 60 add, 60 add, 60 add, 60 add, remove 50%. Full add again. 60 add, 60 add, 60 add. One trade. One analysis basically, and you're set for the whole year.
So could you just stock all the pairs on the weekly, like just on a weekly basis, and just like watch and watch and watch, and then when you find a couple that are like, this is going to be good, and like, and then just focus on those kind of? Can you?
If I take it a step back, Warren Buffett is a monthly trader, if you want to put it that way. Of course, he goes deeper into things. He's not a technical analyst, but if you look at everything he's done, he's a monthly trader. All he does is, I don't want it. I don't want it. The whole world is selling. He's like, I'll take it. He buys them. And then as it rises, then everyone piles on and he just holds on. So you can do that from a higher time frame, but it's good to know at least one thing. If the higher time frame is on, this is why we can say, do the leg 4 or do the leg 5. It's okay, just try it. Because it's on and it's fresh, so it's like, it's still healthy, go for it. Does that make sense? Is that logical? Like everything fits in that puzzle, but it's top down, not bottom up.
But if we are looking at this initially, the MAs are going sideways or down-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So trend. No lower low. Higher low. Clear. Now, will I say it might be a big two-legged and then sell move? I don't know, because I see MAs angled upwards in the big picture also. So this whole movement that was happening, coronavirus was the last spike down. Okay, now we're ready for the buys. Crazy, isn't it? How it all fits in perfectly. Don't say that out loud. People will think you're nuts. You're a conspiracy theorist, and then you'll disappear one day and everyone's gonna be like, oh, he's probably on vacation somewhere. He's probably dead. It's like government's like, he knows too much. Take him out. Like,
so where do we actually like? So we like define the underlying trend from the daily.
yeah, that's why these weekend analysis are for, right? We find where the trend is and which one has this word on.
Yeah. So we found out in which, or if we like are in the leg 2, leg 3, leg 4, leg 5 of the daily.
Correct.
And yeah, okay.
And then Lucas and Henning and all, they can go in on lower time frames and just based on that, be like, all right, we're gonna do a buy. All right, we're gonna do a buy. All right, we're gonna do a buy, but I want you guys to be very careful with the buys. Trade the.
Okay.
I personally, in my opinion, would say trade smaller if you do want to do the buy, like just because you're working off of this time frame, but you're giving the trade calls on a lower time frame based on that. So what is a new trade for them on a lower time frame could be a scale in process for us if we're in this trade. Yeah. So did it make sense why the Aussies and New Zealanders are so hot? It's because of this. It's that process.
It's powerful as well because it's just one leg up and it's making a new high.
Yeah. So this one, as we get closer to candle close, how many legs up so far?
Still one.
Still one. We good? We got some time before we get worried about leg 2 not performing or whatnot.
So we need 3 legs on the 15 and like a refresh, and that's like a leg 2 on the 60.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes you don't get it though because it'll go sideways like this. Like you won't get a chance to get a proper pullback. That's okay. It'll just run away so fast. We're like, just one little red bar and then it goes up again. Like, I was hoping it would slow down a bit to get me a chance to scale. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Who cares? Yeah. Is it feeling at least easier a bit? You know,
No.
It's
Still
Yeah.
pullback lead, but
it's hard up until this stage because you had to study this much, but hopefully now it's just a battle of how much money did you make, how much money did I make? Damn it, I left too much money on the table. Like that's the stage you guys should be fighting about. You guys should be arguing about how much buy is there left in this instead of it's a buy and the next guy says no, it's a sell. Like, okay, wait, there's a problem here. There's someone is wrong, like literally wrong here. Like,
okay. So can we maybe go into the 15 so I can like draw out a scenario when how it looks on when it's actually doing leg 2? Okay. So this is still leg 1. This is done. This is the leg 2, and after this it's gonna do this, and on a higher time frame it's a leg 2.
Yeah.
Okay, then I got it.
Yeah, but not always. Not always. Sometimes he'll go up. He'll just do 2 red bars down, and that's enough time for the 60 to close candle, and it looks red.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll go up again. We just need to think in our minds on the 15, no one got a chance to ever get in. So when they get the next chance to get in, they will try. But for us as 60 traders, we're like, it's already a few legs up. Maybe we'll get rid of this.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not always give me a beautiful 3 legs up, beautiful 3 legs down, beautiful 3 legs up. It's not always like that.
It's not big, so,
Yeah.
No.
You can just have you see this red candle. If you go down a time frame, it could just mean red, red, green, green, green. Nothing happened. It just happens to turn red. Like this. I will count that as 2 legs up, but sometimes I'm like, should I count? Should I not? But if I'm in the trade, I will count it. I'm like, that's 2 legs up. I'm out. But it's definitely not a pullback on a lower time frame. It's not a refresh for sure, right? You can see that. It's just too small, too quick. So then those ones you let go. You don't care about. Yeah? All good? No. Ugh.
The big boys were like, "Oh, you want to scale?"
It's like, I'll show you scaling. Take that. It's just big red candles coming in. Well, Hopefully then I can get a 4-hour pullback and I can scale here.
Yeah, I was hoping for that yesterday.
A 4-hour pullback. Yeah, I actually read this as 2 legs like that. Like I counted this as a separator and then it came down. Because on the lower time frame I had a half moon here somewhere. So I was like, I think that's 2 legs. Look how deep it is. It's got to be something. So I waited till this happened. Was watching some TV shows. I'm like, oh, come on. Then a red bar showed up. I'm like, all right, it's gonna take some time to go down. It'll probably happen in London. Went to sleep, woke up in the morning, price is here. So not fun, not fun. So I was like, okay, I'll take leg 2. Turn off the alarm, went back to sleep, woke up, price is here.
So right now, if what you're saying is true, that this is 2 legs down, then if this becomes a half moon, then it's a 240 pullback.
Yeah.
But if you're only saying that this is 1 leg, this could be the second leg.
Correct. You have to treat it like this. If that's 1 leg, then at this price, someone reacted and someone did this. Not fast, but someone did all of that reversed, right? So are we dealing with a V reversal? Are these trap areas the best prices we're gonna get? Or will it try to mess around and try to poke below here and then go up? That's judgment call at that point. I didn't see any range form, so I was like, I don't think anyone scaled in. Maybe it's coming in too hot. Let it slow down, then we'll see. We'll put the stops below here anyways, just in case it treats it like a range instead of V reversal, test, and take off. If it's a range, he can easily come here. So you put the stops below just in case. See, it's easier to mess with all this, to add size, if you're already in earlier, right, from the start of the move. Then you can say, yeah, just enter here, I'll put a stop loss here, I don't care. You can be a little bit more forgiving at that point because you're in and you're like, you feel you're comfortable and relaxed in the mind. Cool. All right. Well, that's all I have then for today. There's no more other pairs. We're already in Aussie Swiss. And we'll monitor it. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Thank you for the call.
Yeah. No worries. All right. Cheers, guys. I'll speak to you guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.